Good to go?
Good to go.
Good. So we've obviously had a good week's training. We've had a scrimmage against FIU, which was good, getting everyone intense minutes. And in terms of the game tomorrow, it's just a continuation of our training, really. Motta, Sailor, Duke, Negri, Joseph won't take part in the game again tomorrow. They're still in, Motta is nearly there. Joseph's nearly there. We're just giving them that real strong foundation. Sailor's a little bit behind the rest of them. Franco is probably a couple of days behind them as well, because he's only just arrived yesterday. So, and Bryce is probably going to be in another 10 to 15 days. So we're in good shape. There's going to be two games. There's going to be two teams playing tomorrow. It's going to be intense. We want both teams to go for it, get the fitness, get the rhythm, get the passing and the qualities that we expect. And it's just a continuation of our build-up to the February the 25th.
Thank you. If you have a question in the room, please raise your hand. We'll start with Michelle, then Jose.
Hello.
Hi.
What have you seen from, I mean, it's only been a few days, but what have you seen from these two players that we're about to meet here? So far, when do you think they'll be able to really be fully integrated in the group? And then Joseph also, how far away is he from being able to play games?
Stefanelli will play tomorrow. So Stefanelli will get minutes tomorrow. He hasn't played since November. So we've given him. He arrived on Saturday, the day of the Vasco da Gama game. So he's had 5-6 days training. It's gonna take 2 weeks. He's going to be playing reduced minutes tomorrow. Joseph's on a good training plan. He's looking sharper. He's now back with the team. In the first 7 days, he was individual training. Now he's back with the team, and now it's just getting his sharpness up. Motta is ahead of those guys. He'll probably play next week in Sarasota. Negri only arrived yesterday, and then he had his medical, he had his social security, he had to go to get a bank account. He had, he went through all that on day one. So today's the first day we've seen him with the team, but he trains like an animal. And he's been so impressive in terms of the conversations and the meetings we've had with him. So I can't see him taking too long. He probably wants to play tomorrow, knowing Franco. So you think about the personality and profile of the play. You think about Figal. When we had Figal, Franco is a little bit Figal like. Is that Argentinian tough defender who loves defending. And he's got great energy up that left side, and he will provide great competition. So Stefanelli will get minutes tomorrow. We've got to be patient with him in terms of what we expect, but I think the minutes will do him good tomorrow. And we'll just keep building them up and getting them integrated into how we want them to play.
What is Bryce's injury?
Hamstring. Yeah. It's a slight hamstring, but if you remember back to last preseason, he got injured at this point as well. So we're just going to be a little bit more careful with him, because, once he came back from that injury last year, he was available for every single minute of every single game, bar 1 or 2, I think. So he's young. He's still building that durability. Same with Sailor. Sailor missed last preseason, didn't get his first start till Charlotte, which was well into the season. So we want to make sure that these boys get the foundation that's required for a young player to compete in this league. And so we're just going to be a bit more cautious with Duke. The aim is to have everybody fit for the February the 25th. That's the most important thing.
Go ahead, Jose.
Thank you. I have
Pizarro.
No. Not today. That's today. Emerson though. Emerson.
He's gone.
Yes, but I wanted to ask, what was the process like for you guys to make the decision to send him over to Santos?
Yeah,
that's the first one. And the second one, the left back situation here now with Franco and Kieran. Do you expect Negri to be your left back starter by the start of the season? And what is the plan with Kieran Gibbs? It looks like good competition there.
He's got great competition, and you missed Noah Allen. Noah Allen's been fantastic so far. So we've got 3 position where we needed depth. Chris McVeigh can play there, who played most games at left back last season. So we've got brilliant depth now in all fullback positions. Different profiles in every fullback that we've got. So that gives us great options to play wing backs or fullbacks in a 4. So we've got really good competition. That's the one thing that me and Chris have said at the end of last season is that we wanted more depth, more competition, and hopefully that will drive up the competition levels and the performance levels. Emerson is, he's our boy, he's our young kid that we want to keep developing. And he had a season last year where the adaptation from where he came from, Millonarios, to here was difficult for him. He didn't know the language, he didn't know the area. He with every young player, he came to the bright lights of Miami and struggled to adapt on and off the field, more off than on. And so I was very cautious with him last year. I've got to say that I think there was times when I could have played him more, and I take responsibility for that. We have conversations all the time about it, but I felt as if because the team was striving and fighting for every single, I always probably went a little bit safe with my selections in not selecting him. When we spoke to him in the off season, the biggest thing that boy needs to do is play games of football. And I think when we signed Joseph and we signed LaCava, it was always going to be difficult to put him in the starting 11 every single week. So then we said, well, we've invested a lot of money in this boy. We want to make sure that he has to keep developing. And I think going to Mexico will be brilliant for him because he will play games in a really good football level in a country that speaks the same language, and he can continue his development.
Go to Thomas and then Ian.
What are you most excited about, Phil, this year? You talked about depth, natural competition in practice is healthy, obviously, which is great. Flexibility within your systems as well. You got some players in needed positions.
Yeah.
Be the number 9 with Joseph, be the left fullback.
Yeah.
And how the young players pushing all the players and vice versa in practice right now?
Yeah, I think that's in the first couple of weeks. There was a real comfort in the squad because we'd only signed Jake, and everyone came back, and how close they are, and they're a tight knit, and we'd obviously lost Gonzalo and Pozuelo, and there was I felt as if there was a little comfort in the group where it was nice, but we wanted competition. We wanted to feel, you wanted to feel your belly twitching a little bit, and so when we signed Stefanelli, then we signed Joseph, and straight away, the minute we signed Stefanelli and Joseph, the tension in the group got better, and the training sessions got a little bit more competitive because they were then looking around thinking, wow, we've got 6 centre forwards, we've got 2-3 for every position. There was players in the 10v10 in training that weren't even on the pitch. So then all of a sudden people are looking over the shoulders and you get a little bit nervous. But I always felt when I was a player that that's the best way to be as a player, when you're out your comfort zone a little bit, when you're under a little bit of stress, when you're thinking that you've got to really fight for your position. That's when you either sink or you swim. And we're in a situation now where, when everybody's fit, if we get all those players, Motta, Saylor, Duke, Joseph back in, then Negri, then it's going to be even more difficult to pick a substitutes bench, never mind a starting 11. So we want depth, we want competition, and with that, I think it 100% should raise the level of our performance.
One thought, Phil, how comfortable are you with flexibility within your system?
Yeah.
Depending on your own strength and your opponent's strength, you really can play 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, I think with the forwards that we've got, it suggests that we're going to be playing with 2 centre forwards, particularly when you've got Lassiter, Campana, Robbie, Joseph, LaCava, Borgelin, Ascona, Stefanelli. So you think to yourself, our squad is really, really front loaded with strikers. So we want to be a team that puts goals on the pitch. But within that, last season we played really good football at 4-5-1, 4-3-3. We know we've got the adaptability to do that. We played 3 or 4 different systems last year, 3 at the back, 4 at the back. So we've been working the adaptability in training. And I think the good thing is we've got players that are adaptable. If you look at our forwards, apart from Leo and Joseph, they can all play in different positions. So they're going to have to be adaptable as well. And I think when a team plays against us, they know that we've got firepower, but they also know that we've probably got the ability to change systems within the system. So, and football now, I always think when you watch, you watch games now all over the world. It's sometimes difficult to pin a team down for a system because there's so much fluidity with football nowadays.
Ian, then Franco.
Thanks, Rafa. Hey, Phil, I wanted to ask about center backs for you. You obviously moved on from Damian and with Ryan, now with injuries. Chris didn't play a lot of center back last year. Where do you sort of see your center back situation? Ian Frey hasn't even played a minute yet coming off the injury too. So are you comfortable there? Are you looking to add still in it, or how do you see the center back situation moving?
We'll have a centre back in the next few days. So, and a very good one. So we're pleased. We've got 3 young centre backs, although probably Ame and Ryan now shouldn't be classed as young, you know, they're 25, 26. So Ian Frey next week is going to be back out onto the training field running in Sarasota, which is a massive, massive milestone for him and for the club, because we know what we think about him. And Chris McVeigh, for me this season, is almost like a new centre back to the team. He played all his football at left back or as in a back 3. We signed him as a centre back. We believe that he can become a really top centre back. So we've almost got a new centre back in there with Chris McVeigh as well, plus the new signing in the next few days, I hope, which will add real good competition to that position, which I think is a position that we needed to strengthen and a position we needed to get better in. And I've got to say that Damien Lowe was fantastic for us, and the conversation we had with him was a real difficult one, because, you know, he found a place that he found home, and his family live in Miami, you know, but sometimes you've got to make those big decisions. And you know, we thank Damo for his great service and commitment and to the team last year, but we move on.
Franco.
On day 1 of preseason, you were asked about Alejandro Pozuelo. So we're working hard on that, and fans keep asking, you know, what's the latest with that? So what can you update us with regards to Pozuelo? Is that still a possibility, or is that something that's probably not happening?
We're working hard. We're working hard. We've got a full squad. You know, we've got a full squad at the moment, and you know, with the cap system, you've got to maneuver those pieces around. We're in contact with Pozuelo. We know him. He knows us. We know he knows what we think of him. So we're working really, really hard. And you know, I think over the last 12 to 18 months, I think some of the deals that we've had, some of the deals that we've pulled off has surprised a few people, because we work really hard at trying to get the best roster, and we're working really hard with Pozuelo. We know it's going to be difficult because of the cap system, but you know, that's something that we're working hard on.
Thank you, Coach. That
Done?
concludes Phil Neville's press
Oh,
conference.
wow, yes.